Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it's time for another episode of Lost. The big reveal at the end of last episode, as Michael was checking out the computer equipment, the hardware, apparently Walt tried to reach him, tried to communicate with him via the computer. And yet, as that's happening, Echo and Locke are rewatching the film, and now with the spliced information, the spliced film included, and it warns them to not use the computer for anything other than entering the code. So, questions. What happens if you use the computer for anything other than the code? The film suggests that maybe it'll trigger another incident. It will render the experiment void, but honestly, the survivors don't care about that. But we don't want a repeat of whatever mysterious incident happened back in the 70s. Is that truly Walt on the other line, on the other side of the chat to Michael? Or is somebody messing with Michael's head? How did they suddenly gain contact? It didn't feel like Michael did anything as far as flipping switches or plugging things in. He was just sort of sussing out what's there, and the moment that information came up on the film, Walt in quotes, appeared on screen. So that's a very odd coincidence, if it is indeed a coincidence. Let's also talk about that spliced film that was found in Arrow Station, hidden in the hollowed out Bible. Who cut it out? Why did they hide it in another bunker, in another station? To what end? You know what? Why? So many questions, and I'm very eager to find out what comes next here. You know, I don't trust Lost to tell me right away, and I don't trust that we go right back into that storyline in this next episode. Sometimes they leave us hanging for a little bit. Everyone who saw when Shannon got shot had to wait an entire episode before we found out for sure what was going to happen there. I do know this next episode, episode 10, is called the 23rd Psalm. Well, obviously 23 is one of the numbers, so it doesn't surprise me at all that appears. This is a show that's been dealing with issues of faith and belief since the very beginning. So, and in a very real sense, it's a show about religion, about faith. It's I'm not talking about necessarily organized religion, but I am talking about putting your faith in a higher power, trusting in powers greater than yourself. I went to Sunday school as a kid, but I am not a religious person. I don't know my Bible incredibly well. I certainly wouldn't be able to tell you what the 23rd Psalm is. Hopefully we'll have that spelled out to us. If not, I'll look into it after the episode. I want to go into each episode as fresh and unencumbered with expectations as possible. So we'll just see where that leads. I do think that Echo and Locke make a very interesting pair. Echo obviously seems to be a properly religious man. I don't know whether he's almost giving off priest vibes, but that just may be me making assumptions that aren't true. He certainly, after the first night on the island when he killed the two others that were trying to abduct him, he basically went into a period of repentance where he didn't talk for 40 days, where he came to terms with what he had done. We don't know whether he's forgiven himself or not, but he certainly does come off as a very religious man. You know, he told Locke the story of Josiah finding the Old Testament last episode. Locke strikes me as a different kind of religious. He certainly has more faith in the power of the island than anybody else that we've met so far. He believes that there is a higher purpose, that there's a reason for him to be on the island, and he, for now, feels like entering the code is that. Now, you know, he's like me in that I'm sure he's spending his time in the hatch trying to figure out this mystery, trying to learn more, in a sense becoming an apostle of the Dharma Initiative, learning everything, that all the information that they've left, which granted isn't a ton, but he needs to know more. He's on a quest for knowledge, and he does have an incredible faith in the power of the island. So maybe this is an episode about those two. Maybe it's something else entirely. We had a Ana Lucia flashback a few episodes ago, so I wonder whether we're going to get an Echo flashback or a Libby, or even like a Rose and Bernard flashback. Wouldn't that be a sweet little treat to the fans? You know, are we going to see their backstories this season? I would imagine that we will. We got everybody's backstory in season 1 that we were introduced to that season, so it would just make sense that eventually we do get Echo and Libby and Bernard's backstories as well. That would be a lot of fun. But anyway, I don't know what else to expect, so let's just jump right into it. This is episode 10 of season 2 of Lost, and it's called The 23rd Psalm.
Previously on Lost.
I don't want Charlie to start doing drugs again. Now, does it make sense that Echo is Nigerian? I mean, I didn't want to make that assumption, but I could see it. Get the children. It's just like the others. Are we going to get in an episode of child soldiers? No.
Kill him.
Don't do it, kid.
Shoot him. Now.
Wow. He did it just to save his younger brother's crisis.
Look at Mr. Echo. No hesitation. A born killer. You won't need that anymore.
Man. I was wondering what he was carving in that club.
Things I need to remember.
Bits of the Bible.
This is Aaron.
Brother of Moses.
Yeah, that must have been tough to live up to, right?
Aaron was a great man. Moses had great difficulty speaking, so it was Aaron who spoke for him.
You should speak to Charlie. He doesn't want to admit he's religious, but he carries around a statue of the Virgin Mary.
Does he know
Statue?
about the drugs? Yeah. He knows exactly what it is right now.
Where did he find this? Where is Charlie?
Interesting. Echo and Charlie. Also, two names that come from the phonetic military alphabet. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo.
Setting the combination?
With the new folks joining us, I figure we better limit people's access to the guns. Which I'm guessing is why you're here, Michael.
Is he going to tell him?
Look out! 너 때문에 물고기 다 도망가잖아. Oh, thank you very much, Jin. I do have a beautiful voice, don't I?
Man on a mission.
I want you to take me to where you found it.
Okay, fine.
Years later.
50 is what I will pay you in exchange for the favor you're asking me to do. Your drugs are of no value here, so you must get them out. The borders are all guarded by the military, so you must fly. I will buy your heroin for 50.
It is true what they say about you. You have no soul.
Wow. This is not what I expected him to be. Man, he's a proper murderous gangster.
Don't play stupid, Charlie.
What?
What's this?
I didn't know. Look, if it's sealed up inside a statue, how would I know? Not use it.
Don't lie to her, though, man. Don't believe it.
Someone's waiting for you.
Ranch composite.
Got it. How'd you learn all this stuff?
From my
dad
dad.
used to take me hunting.
Sounds like he was a kid, but... Man can hit a target.
Find it right here, right by that tree.
Charlie's full of it.
You found it here?
Lying like a user again.
You did not find the statue here. Take me to the plane.
Yeah. Of course he knows exactly.
I'm not just some guy you can just
Oh, smoke monster.
What are you doing here?
Is that his brother, all grown up?
Hello, Echo.
Hello, brother.
For confession to mean something, you must have a penitent heart.
I've only done what I needed to do to survive. How is that a sin? The day they took me, is what I did that day a sin? Or is it forgiven? Because it is you that was saved. God has given us this opportunity. We should not turn our back on it.
I will always love you, but I will not help you.
Is there a bit of a parallel between these two and the Moses-Aaron story? Feels a little more Cain and Abel-y.
You know, you don't have to be belligerent just for belligerent's sake.
He pretty
Everyone
much
loves
does.
you now.
Sawyer. Glad you're back, man.
Yeah, see? Everyone loves you now.
Hey, Locke said you were on hatch duty later.
You want my shift?
He wants to talk to his son.
Glad you're okay, man.
Sawyer just does not know what to do with friends.
You don't know me, man. I was a good person. I was an altar boy. Just don't judge me, man.
Is that something else?
What?
Or is that one of the priests? I wonder whether his brother was one of the guys on the plane. This is the body Locke and Boone found.
What are you doing?
He's looking for the cross. He put his brother on that plane. Oh, gold teeth. So he knows who that is.
That guy?
This man saved my life.
Have we met who that is yet?
He takes off in a plane in Nigeria. We're out in the middle of the South Pacific. That makes all the sense in the world.
Wormholes. Trust me on this one, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my season 1 recap.
You're a priest. You're a priest, right? He's a priest and you're a priest too, right?
Nope. He could have been.
You will make us priests, and we will fly the drugs out ourselves.
Make you priests?
I understand that you live in a world where righteousness and evil seem very far apart. But that is not the real world.
Righteousness and evil are not very far apart.
Think of the life you will save.
My signature does not make you a priest, Echo. You could never be a priest.
I guess we are both sinners now.
Perhaps we are. But God will forgive me, Echo.
I'm lost.
Climb that tree.
You climb it. What if I don't? You gonna beat me with your Jesus stick? What kind of priest are you, anyway?
Don't make assumptions.
You need to get higher.
I'm going to assume Evangeline Lilly was helping him with his tree climbing lessons. We're going to see the smoke monster again any minute now. Yep. Whoa. No.
Run!
Right, just like Locke back in season 1. Fascinating. This is the first time we've seen properly seen it, and where it's still, and what's going on in the smoke monster? What is it? What is it?
Most people, when they see a creature made of swirling black smoke, they run.
I was not afraid of it.
So did he say anything more to Walt than, did he respond to Dad? And I thought Locke had 2-man shifts doing this. Just like that. You need to come get me.
Hey, Michael.
No one's forgotten about Walt. I just want you to know that as soon as we can, we're gonna figure out a way to go out and bring him back.
Thanks, man.
It went blank. I don't trust that it's actually Walt, but of course Michael would believe it. 3785, okay. Not numbers. It's his brother. Obviously his brother ends up on the plane.
Do not get on that plane, Echo. You saved my life once, and I'm here to save yours.
Eco the military!
Oh, okay, so that's the guy, the gold teeth.
You did this?
Oh.
Stop! No,
No! No! No!
Was he betrayed, or did his friend do that knowing? And how does that plane end up in the South Pacific if it isn't a wormhole through the planet? So his brother was already dead on board. I love that we're getting the Beechcraft backstory, though. It was such an odd thing to appear out of the blue back in season 1. That's got to be his brother, right? Yeah. So I'm assuming at that moment he stopped being a criminal, losing his brother like that.
Are you okay, Father?
He's my brother. I'm sorry.
What a crazy coincidence. I mean, how does that work, even? Yeah. Torch all the drugs.
For the one I broke.
Don't take it, Charlie, man. Throw it on the funeral pyre.
The Lord is my shepherd.
Is that Psalm 23?
I shall not want.
The Lord's Prayer?
He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. Yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I fear no evil.
That's not the Lord's Prayer, is it?
Thou art with me. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Yeah, Hurley needs to hook up with Libby. Not hook up, but they need to be like a relationship of some sort.
Claire?
Yeah.
You lied to me, Charlie. Charlie, I don't want you sleeping anywhere near us, okay?
Aw. You brought it on yourself, Charlie. Where's he going now? Are we all the... Where are we? Oh, man. He stashed so many. Ah, Charlie. Dude, you disappoint. Oh, man. All right. Man. I am lucky enough that addiction is not part of my life. And if I am an addict, it's to caffeine. And maybe one too many beers occasionally. But, man, I can only imagine what it's like being addicted to a hard drug. And I mean, it's easy to be disappointed and upset with Charlie in a situation like this, but the fact is, it's a disease, and he's sick. You know, yeah, he got over. You know, he went through withdrawal barely a month ago, and so much of his life was centered around getting that next fix that, of course, he's going to stash as much as he can when he finds, you know, a gift from the heavens, basically. So yeah, I'm disappointed, but it doesn't make me like Charlie less. I just wish someone could somehow help him. And I'm also worried that now that Claire's kicked him out, basically, that he's going to have less reason to stay clean. As far as we know, he hasn't actually used the stuff, but he just needs to know it's nearby and available. And he's got one less reason now to stay clean. So I really hope this isn't the start of a downward spiral for Charlie, because that would be a real shame. My heart is heavy because of that, but it's not surprised. And Echo, what an interesting backstory. I love how much we're learning about the Tailies this season, guys. Like, they were introduced They were pretty much a mystery. Then we got the other 48 days where we learned their entire, learned all about their time on the island from the moment of the crash until the accidental shooting of Shannon. And when we got Ana Lucia's flashback, we got a lot of her history. And same here with Mr. Echo. What a complex and interesting backstory. You know, he sacrificed his own future to protect his brother when they were kids. He became a criminal because he had to, but he clearly took to it as well. He told himself that what he was doing was for the right reasons. He was getting the drugs out of his country. He was helping his brother with vaccines. Like, this is what he told himself, and yet he was certainly a criminal. He killed those two guys that were selling him the drugs. I'm sure they weren't the first or the last that he killed, but he was given a chance at redemption when the plane left without him, and he adopted the persona of being a priest. Did he take that opportunity to become a properly Christian man? Did he ask for forgiveness and atonement and try to atone for his sins? Or was it just a cover? I feel like it's the former, that he actually took this opportunity to get out of the criminal life and somehow start to make up for things. But how fascinating is it that the plane ends up on the island? What was the line from last episode where Echo and Locke are talking, and Locke says, you know, it's fate that this piece of film was discovered and brought back and they can re-splice it and everything. And Echo's line is, don't mistake coincidence for fate. And yet, how can you ignore a coincidence as massive as being in a plane crash that takes you to the island that your brother's plane crashed on? What a coincidence that is. And at some point you go, this isn't coincidence anymore. This is fate. There is a higher meaning. There's a higher purpose here. And it's just your job to figure out what that purpose is. Here on the island, again, Echo is adopting the role of the priest, but he's got such this dark past. It'll be very interesting to see where his character goes. You know, I feel like he's a character obviously looking for redemption. He carved those passages from scripture on his club, the Bloodstained Club, but it's got Psalm 23 and various verses from Revelations on it and stuff. I'm going to have to look at those in the edit process and see what passages from the Bible they reference. Psalm 23, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, you know, it's one of the most well-known Bible verses. For a moment I thought it was the Lord's Prayer, but I was mistaken. Shows how much I know about how much I remembered from Sunday school. But yeah, there it is. Psalm 23. Makes you wonder whether they had that in mind at all when the numbers were picked, you know, and I'd be interested to go through the Bible and see what Psalms 4, 8, 15, 16, and 42 say, see if there are any, if there's some interesting clues there. At some point, things are just coincidence, but you never know where the next key to the puzzle might be hidden. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, I love doing this. I love hearing your comments. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And if by chance you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that red button right now. It would be great for the channel, great for the community, and I'd greatly appreciate it too. So please consider doing that if you appreciate what I'm doing here. Until next time, guys, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.